Welcome to our show on international business, marketing, and strategy. I'm Michael Czinkota, and I'm joined today by two of my students who are here at Georgetown University. We have Anna, who hails from Armenia, and we have Alice, and she comes from China. And the topic that we will discuss is, we called it the international business of dating. But before you get too carried away, the whole idea is we know that for international business, the use of social media, the use of a team approach, the use of collaboration is crucial, because this is how universities with lots of buildings justify their existence. You come here and you make a lot of friendships which will help you later. So this is a fairly crucial issue in education in general, and of course in international business even more so. So let me turn it over to our two ladies, and let's just start out with the basics. I know you're already advanced in terms of your presence at this university, but how do you make friends? How do you get involved with people? How do you form a team or a group?
Well, I think that when you start out as a freshman at Georgetown University, it's very common to become friends with the people that you live around. For example, my closest friends from freshman year are those who came from my freshman year floor, and that's just because out of habit, it's easy to go to meals with your next door neighbor, and it's easy to go to class or catch them on the way coming back from class or go have a meal together. So that's an easy way to form friends your freshman year at Georgetown.
Well, for grad students, it's a little bit different because we live off campus.
Right.
And as an international student, I've noticed that the first people you kind of start to get along with are the international students.
Oh, yeah.
Because we formed this community of people that are just starting their new studies in America, and this is one thing that really unites us, and those are the first friends that you actually have on campus in the university. Then you start building relationship with the locals, and that is when you actually start learning the American culture, which is amazing.
Yeah, I noticed that too, that a lot of international students at Georgetown kind of stick together too.
Yeah, because it's natural. It's the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah, and they're all...
So internationalism is contagious? Is that what you're saying? Because
yeah.
If you have other internationally oriented people, then you form relationships with them.
Yeah, there are also groups.
Now I have to ask this. I've been told in my class that at least the European thing is when you meet someone new, you immediately start kissing their cheeks. Is that really true? Because I must say I never benefited from that.
Yeah, that is true. And that was one thing that I was surprised not to have here in America, because Americans are more of huggers. And in Europe, you meet the person for the first time, especially in Mediterranean countries. They kiss you on the cheeks. You just learn their name and they're already in your face with their kisses. And that is a little bit disturbing at first, but then you feel that connects people in a better way, because you create this very personal connection right away when you meet them.
Now, how's that in China?
That would have been a culture shock for anyone coming from China, I think, because a lot of physical contact is not very prevalent in Chinese culture. Definitely, it would not be very common to kiss or hug anyone the first time you meet them. Usually, at most, it's a handshake, definitely in China.
Is there a point in time where you would switch over, or you stay with the handshake for the next 10 years?
I think that a lot of girls, actually, they like to hold hands, and that's one thing where if they become close friends, then that's very common, which is different than the US, because I feel like that's not a common thing here or in Europe. I'm not sure about Europe.
What, that girls become friends?
Yeah, that girls when they become close friends, they hold hands on the streets. And in terms of business or those sorts of things, usually they just stick to handshakes, and even if it's 10 years.
Now, how would you, for example, in Armenia, address someone who you meet in the course of business, and let's say she's older than you are, and she runs the business?
Well, it is interesting because in Armenia it also differs by the gender, because it is a more patriarchal country, and I always had during business meetings this awkward moment when men are like giving you a handshake to a woman. They feel awkward because this culture of handshakes is a little bit new to us, and you always have this moment when they don't know if they want to shake your hand or not, and they're like very tender with it, and sometimes not even looking in your eyes, trying to make it very quick. But that's changing as the Western values come, and Western business etiquette comes and takes its place. It's changing.
So what should a Georgetown student or an American student or a European student who plans to do international business things in terms of communication, contact, what should they do and how should they learn that?
I think the best possible way would be to talk to a lot of international students and ask them about those types of cultures, and ask them, oh, what do you usually do when you meet someone? And those would be the most accurate answers.
There are also a lot of courses that Georgetown offers abroad. And I know I have a lot of fellow classmates that did classes abroad in Europe.
Right.
And that is a very good experience to learn about culture of business outside of the country. And of course, meeting new people, it's always communicating with other students is one of the best ways to learn the customs.
Yeah, when I studied abroad at Oxford, we took a class called British Culture class. So that's where we learned a lot of the culture there.
And does that necessarily translate into business success?
Not necessarily. I think that a lot of practice comes with it too, and immersing yourself in the culture, and that would lead to business success eventually.
But I would add that for the primary connection, for the first meeting and creating this connection with your new partners, knowing cultural differences is very important.
Yeah.
Can play a crucial role and actually help a lot, because if you know the customs, it really flatters your new business partners. For example, in my country, this culture of having meetings over dinners and negotiating during dinners, not actually during the meetings, but after those, it actually makes a big difference.
So it is worthwhile to internationalize in terms of learning from others. Is it also more difficult? Do you find that, wouldn't it be nice if everybody were Chinese?
Well, that would take away all the fun. Then you wouldn't have anything to learn about other cultures. And so I think it's nice to be able to learn about every different sort of culture and know that one is not better than the other. It's just everyone was brought up differently, and so it's important to learn about another person's culture before entering into a business relationship or any sort of relationship with them.
So it helps improve your judgment capability?
Right.
Because you're not judgmental.
Exactly.
You give it some time at least.
Yeah.
Anna, is that true in Armenia as well?
Of course, it also opens new opportunities for new businesses and new trade options. So it also creates new products on the market as international marketing, as communications. And that knowing cultural differences is very important and very it enriches the capabilities of a professional as well.
Well, thank you very much, Alice. Thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you.
And I hope that your comments have been useful for the budding internationalists. Come join us again in our sessions on international business, marketing, and strategy. Thank you.